Morning everybody, welcome to this week's Tillers Turf Talk. Hope you're all keeping really well. So we're super busy again today and there's lots going on. There's lots of harvest, there's lots of golf stuff going out. We've got the yard project still continuing. We'll take another look at that next week. The guys from Fine Turf over here doing a fantastic job of that. But this week we're going to visit something we've not visited for quite some time, and that is we're going to take a look at our Heathland turf. So we've got some behind me here. And if I call it heather turf at any point in the video, then I apologise. We have rebranded it now as Heathland turf, more of which I'll explain later on. So in the meantime, let's dig in a bit deeper and we'll take a look at one or two things to consider when you're laying it and one or two tips for doing so. So yeah, sit back and enjoy the video. About a year ago we decided to rename the product and we no longer call it heather turf, we now call it Heathland turf. There's a very good reason for that, and that is the product is harvested off an established heath. So what you're buying here is a little piece of history and a piece of very ancient downland heath. So it looks absolutely amazing, not just the heather, but you may also encounter the odd things like we've got some dwarf gorse here, and you may even get the odd Scots pine. If you don't want them in there, simply pull them out and plant it on another part of your golf course. So there you go, nice little 2-for-1 for you. So fantastic product, like I say, full of history, and we'll take a real closer dive-in look a little bit later in the video. So let's take a closer look at the slab of heather then. So what we're trying to achieve here is a harvest depth of sort of 40 to 60 millimetres. So there's plenty of soil in there, which is going to contain a fantastic seed bank of heather and other good heathland species. So we may get things like fescue coming through and other plants that are sort of native to downland heath. So the heather in question is predominantly Calluna vulgaris, which is common heather, but also we do occasionally encounter bell heather and crossleaf heather. And if we delve a little bit deeper, you know, there's some nice mosses in there. We've got some nice lichens and all sorts of interest in there. And in the summertime when it starts to flower, it's going to attract all kinds of pollinating insects, in particular bees, that are going to really benefit from this product going forward. So yeah, brilliant product, like up close and personal there. The key thing once it's inlaid is to make sure you keep an eye on that watering, particularly the first year or two. Don't allow it to dry out, otherwise it's incredibly difficult to wet again. But it's all looking fantastic, great crop this year, really pleased with it, and yeah, going to be some happy customers. Now when it comes to installing the Heathland turf, there's a few things to consider. Number one, if there's heather growing locally in your area, then there's a very good chance that you're going to have no problems at all and it's going to establish beautifully. If heather isn't native to your area, then what we're trying to create is a slightly acidic environment. So with a pH sort of, I guess, round about maybe 4.5 to 6.5, somewhere in that range if you can do it. And also maybe raise the ground slightly just to ensure it's nice and free draining. Now when it comes to laying it, it's just like turf, so snug it together as tight as you can. The one tip I would give you is to avoid being too formal unless the straight edges making you have to do that. So you're going to get a more natural effect if you take the turf and you just stagger it a little bit. So rather than have a straight line, you can maybe go that way a little bit, that way a little bit, and then by staggering the turf like that, you're going to get a much more naturalised effect. And as this is the most sort of natural product that we supply it to as a Heathland turf, then in my opinion that's the best way to go. So brilliant stuff. You can enhance it as well with a bit of long and wispy fescue in between, just to give it a real rugged and instant natural effect. But overall it's a fantastic product, and yeah, let's take a closer look. Well, I really hope you enjoyed this week's video, and once again, as always, thanks for watching. We really appreciate all your views, your comments, And yeah, please help us grow the channel by continuing to share and like. Just one final point regarding the heather turf, and that is it is a seasonal product and is only available for us to harvest between sort of, I guess, beginning of November to the end of January. So it's always worth, with golf season coming up, getting your early reservations in, and once we've got enough orders on the system, we get the harvester into the site and start lifting it. So yeah, there we go. So that's a closer look. Hope you enjoyed it once again. In the meantime, have a fab weekend, and we'll catch you next week. Cheers for now.